Students, now we are starting a new topic of cryptograms. Before starting this topic, we must have to revise the basic classification of cryptograms. Cryptograms are further divided into the thallophyta, bryophyta and pteridophyta. So now we are going to learn a bryophytes. We are doing the now study of bryophytes. So bryophyte is one of the plant group of cryptograms. This bryophyte is also a seedless but very simple kind of autotrophic plant. But then also it is differentiated from the thallophyta because these bryophytes shows the root-like structure called as a rhizoids. This is one thing. Another thing is that they shows somewhat basic differentiation of tissue. Their tissue may divided into the photosynthetic filament and storage zone. That might be a reason for separating bryophytes from the thallophyta. This is a individual group of cryptograms. First of all, we will see mostly these bryophytes are growing in the rainy season. They may also grow throughout the years, but they may require a moist condition, and that's why in most of the region of our country they mostly grows in the rainy season. These are the cryptograms. Basically their nature is terrestrial, and on the land or on the other substratum they may found in a moist and shady localities. They are also called as a amphibians of plant kingdoms because they may also grows in the water, or water may also require for their fertilization, and they may also grows on the land, and that's why they are treated as a amphibians of the plants. They are very small, herbaceous in nature, grows closely packed together on the rock surfaces or on the tree trunks or on the soil surfaces or also on the leaf surfaces in the forest areas. Mostly they found in these habitat in forest area. They may also found during the rainy season on the walls of the houses. The common bryophyte called as a funaria or moss in rainy season that grows very commonly on the house moist walls, and the wall becomes a greenish. Some of the bryophytes mostly occur in aquatic habitat. Some are occurs epiphytically, and some are also grows on the dead matter, so that they are the saprophytes. These are the diagrams of the common bryophyte. This is a rosette structure of Rixia. You can see this is a thalloid dorsiventral thallus structure of Rixia, shows many lobes. The lobes are always shows the dichotomously branched structure, and they have the distinct dorsal and ventral surface. This is another bryophyte called as a Marchantia. More or less this Marchantia is also looks similar like a Rixia, but slight difference is there. Their body is also thalloid dorsiventral. Commonly or generally the bryophytes are very small plants. They are thalloid and they are not differentiated into the structure or organs like a stem, leaves and roots. So that's why their body is a simple thalloid. Their thallus is dichotomously branched, lobed. The pattern of lobe may be various as per genera to genera and species to species, and they may possess distinct midrib on their surface or on their thallus. As I said, bryophytes are the dorsiventral. They possesses the dorsal as well as ventral surface. The upper surface is called as a dorsal and lower surface is called as a ventral surface. The most of the bryophytes dorsal surface is smooth and ventral surface is with a rhizoids and scale. The pattern of rhizoids may also be found useful for taxonomically for the classification of bryophytes. The rhizoids may be unicellular, may be multicellular. In unicellular, they may be smooth kind or they may be tuberculate in nature. So that distinct characteristics of rhizoids may also useful for finding a species of particular bryophyte. In Anthoceros, rhizoids are scatterly present, but in most of the cases rhizoids are present on the midrib region on a ventral surface. Anatomically, the thallus of bryophytes differentiated into the two regions or two surfaces. The upper surface called as a photosynthetic zone and lower surface is called as a storage zone. These are the two differentiated zones of the thallus of bryophyte. The upper photosynthetic zone contains a vertically arranged rows of multicellular cells, and that rows are called as a photosynthetic filaments. The terminal cell of these photosynthetic filaments forms a upper epidermis for the thallus. There are some openings at some intervals, and that openings are called as a air pores. Whereas the lower region of the thallus, that is made by the simple parenchymatous kind of cells, and that is specially made for the storage. And in this storage region you will find the storage food material in the form of starch, oil globules or any other chemical deposition in this storage zone. In the photosynthetic region, the photosynthetic filaments are multicellular. Their cells contain the chlorophyll pigment, and this dorsal surface or the photosynthetic zone is at the upper region, and that is why they are carrying a function of photosynthesis. The storage region which contain the parenchymatous cells, the last layer of the cells of storage region made by the lower epidermis. This lower epidermis make a covering over the storage region, and the cells of lower epidermis produces rhizoids and scales outside at the midrib region, or they may be produces scatterly. There is no internal tissue differentiation in the thallus of bryophytes. The reserve food material is in the form of starch. There are oil bodies. The apical growth of the thallus or the growth of thallus takes place by the single cell. That single cell is situated at the growing point or apical region of the thallus lobe, and that is called as a apical notch. And because this apical notch contains a apical cell, and that apical cell is responsible for carrying a apical growth. The vascular and mechanical tissue are completely absent in the bryophytes, and the mode of nutrition in case of the bryophyte is, most of the bryophytes or mostly all bryophytes includes a photosynthetic pigment, and their mode of nutrition is autotrophic mode of nutrition. All the bryophytes reproduces by two ways. They may reproduces vegetatively by the different vegetative body formation, or they may reproduces sexually. The sexual reproduction in bryophytes is of oogamous type, and that is carried or that is brought by the Archegonia and Antheridia. So these are what the general characteristics of the bryophytes. Bryophytes are the cryptogams. They are seedless but simple thalloid kind of plant, but they are somewhat modified than the thallophytes, and hence they are separate, they are kept in a separate plant group. These bryophytes Today their numbers are become say shrinked. Day by day the habitat of bryophytes are going to be destroyed, and that's why the total number of bryophytes are reduced. And today the bryophytes is a small plant group. It is somewhat primitive in nature. In the coming videos we will see details about the classification of the bryophytes and what are the characteristic feature of each class of bryophyte. Before this we saw the characteristics of bryophytes. In that, what are the general characteristics are present in the bryophytes, that we were studied. The classification of bryophytes made by the different botanists, and lastly all were confirmed that the bryophytes are divided into the three classes. This is what a basic outline of classification of bryophytes. First of all, bryophytes are the cryptogams, belongs in a plant kingdom. The cryptogams is a division that is for a seedless plant, and these cryptogams are divided into the subdivisions, and from that one subdivision is for bryophyta. This subdivision bryophyta further divided into the three classes: Hepaticopsida, Anthocerotopsida and Massae or Bryopsida. They also has a common names. Hepaticopsida commonly called as a liverworts because their thallus are like a liver shape, and that's why they are also commonly called as a liverworts. Whereas the Anthocerotopsida also commonly called as a hornworts. The reason is that the sporophyte or capsule of Anthocerotopsida is like a horn of ox or bullock, and that's why they are commonly also called as a hornworts, means horn like sporophyte capsule is there. And the last class is called as a mosses. They are commonly called as a moss, like a cushion material or tuffing material, and that's why they are called as a mosses. These are the three classes of bryophytes. Each class of bryophyte has a unique characteristic features, and that's why we also has to study what are the different characteristic feature of all these three classes. First of all, we will see the characteristic feature of first class, Hepaticopsida. This Hepaticopsida class includes 280 genera worldwide and about 9,500 species. As I said, their thallus is like a liver shape, lobed, dichotomously branched, and that's why they are also called as a liverworts or Hepaticopsida. The Greek meaning of hepatica is a liver, and that's why they are called as a liverworts. What bryophyte we see in the nature, that is a gametophyte. This gametophyte of bryophyte is thalloid, or sometime it may be a foliose. The thallus is prostate, lobed, dorsiventral, dichotomously branched. In case of foliose form, thallus shows entire leaves like structure, and rhizoids present in Hepaticopsida are unicellular rhizoids. They may be smooth or tuberculate. The rhizoids may branched. The photosynthetic cells are with a many chloroplast. That chloroplast is without pyranid. The pyrenoids are absent in the Hepaticopsida chloroplast. The sex organ for sexual reproduction are born on the dorsal surface. They may be situated apically, they may be superficially arranged, or they may be embedded in the tissue of gametophyte. The Hepaticopsida may monoecious or dioecious, means The both sex structures are present on a single thallus, that is monoecious, or present on a different thallus, that is dioecious. This gametophyte, after producing the reproductive structures, Antheridia and Archegonia, the fertilization takes place, and that after the fertilization there is a formation of sporophyte. The sporophyte of bryophyte is remain attached with the gametophyte. That may be simple like a capsule, sporogenous tissue present inside the capsule or sporophyte responsible to produce spores. In general, the bryophytes are homosporous. They produces the same kind of spores or single kind of spores, and that's why they are homosporous. In the spores, intermingly, the different sterile bodies are present, unicellular in nature, and they are called as elaters. They are hygroscopic, spiral, and they help for the dehiscence of the capsule. When capsule is dehisced, the spores are get liberated. The capsule having a thick walls without stomata, and they may divide irregularly or they may divide by the distinct wall. After dehiscence of the capsule, the spores present inside the capsule are get liberated in the nature, and when these spores get a suitable environmental conditions, they are haploid in nature, they get germinate and forms a new gametophyte, phytic thallus of the bryophyte. These are what the characteristic features of a class Hepaticopsida of Bryophyta.